You don't send contracts. I mean, I don't understand what they're saying. We're not going to accept a deal without seeing a contract, or without seeing proof of funds, or without meeting and talking about it. How can you make an offer for 50 million and not expect someone to want to talk about it, what it involves? So all I've done is try to meet them. And he said, you know, well, when you offered Dillian White the Dillian White deal, you didn't send the contract. Yeah, but you didn't even reply. If you would have said to me, okay, we're interested, please send the contract, I would have sent the contract immediately. If they would have said to me, I'm interested, let's meet to discuss it, I would have met them immediately. I wouldn't have gone, oh no, I'm not meeting you or sending you a contract, because that's like not how it works. Of course it's how it works. So it's bizarre.
Will you send a counter offer this week?
Probably, yeah.
A second one. Better money.
Everybody says that was their aim, to get us to make a better counter offer. It's probably worked, so well done.
You called the the idea of a $100 million deal rubbish the other day, and so when you see what they're talking about now, you still feel that way?
They're not talking about 100 million. They're talking about trying to probably get it to 65, 70. That's probably what's in their mind.
And you would get 50 of that?
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying. I haven't seen a contract. I mean, they won't meet me to talk about it, but that's what they're telling the media.
Hey, they're telling you that they can guarantee you 50 million.
Well, I had an email from DEONTAY Wilder telling me that he could
just Wilder, not.
Hey, Eddie, how do you feel about Anthony Joshua possibly negotiating with Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel, you know, without you being present?
He hasn't.
Because it was rumored that, you know, he's possibly talking to Deontay Wilder. They contacted him, and
yeah, he did. He sent me an email. Actually, he sent him a direct message on Instagram, and he forwarded it to me, and he replied saying, "I'll do my business in a different kind of way to you." So
why not disagree to the 50 million?
Because it doesn't work like that. Because what they're trying to no. Because what happens
is at the end of the day, you're still getting 50 million.
No, you're not. Of course you're not. It's not there. Do you think? I mean, look, this gentleman's been around obviously longer than you. No due respect. He's shaking his head as if to say, "Quite right, quite right." It's no problem. We want to talk about it. We're interested. That should be enough for them. Yes, we are interested. Send me a draft. Let's meet and we can discuss it further. No, we're not meeting. That's just ridiculous to discuss. What are you talking about? How's it ridiculous? If I've made offers to them, right, for Dillian White, for Deontay Wilder, right? Now, if they would have said to me, "We're interested, can you send me a contract?" Honestly, what do you think I would have done? Okay, if they would have said to me, "We're interested, let's meet," what do you think I would have done? I would have flown on the next plane to meet them. So what worries me is that it might not be real, or it might not be genuine. Because if it was, I don't understand why you'd reject that. I understand them saying, just let us know, do you accept it or not? I don't know, because I don't know what it entails. I don't know how it crosses over our existing rights of Anthony Joshua for worldwide TV contracts. I don't know how they intend to pay the money. I don't know where they intend to stage the fight. These are all things that have to be considered before accepting a deal. So the answer is, if you are asked now, do we accept the deal? No.
Well, until where everybody's confused that is when Anthony Joshua said, "Hey, if the fight's worth 100 million, I'll take 50. Let's go."
Yeah, he did. So
he said that. So they're giving you 50.
They're not giving me 50. Deontay Wilder sent me an email. So I'm saying, let's see the funds. Let's talk about it. Tell me where it's going to be. That's not unreasonable to ask where it's going to be.
Absolutely.
So you don't.
But Eddie,
Doesn't
doesn't
it
feel like
casino money behind it? You don't know
what
which
I think,
networks.
I think exactly. Thank you, sir. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the acceptance of the fight and then go out and attract the funds.
But Eddie,
don't blame them for that.
But Eddie,
that's how you would do it. That's how I'd do it. If I was offering the same deal, I'd do the same. We're not interested in being shopped around to go to Vegas, to go to New York with no control. We haven't built Anthony Joshua. He hasn't built himself to this position just to say, "Yeah, go on then, off you go." You know,
but Eddie, why does it matter where do they get the money from?
Because we don't want to be whored out when Anthony Joshua is one of the biggest brands in world boxing by people that he doesn't want to be whored out by. So the answer is, he wants to be in control of deals or where the fight is or decisions around the fight. So the answer is, about this offer, who makes these decisions? That's another question that we have to ask. That's not unreasonable. We don't want to just sit there and be told, right, you've got to be there on a media tour, you've got to go there, the fight's going to take place there, it's on that network, these are the sponsors involved. By the way, they're all competitive to your sponsors. There's so many things to discuss in a deal of that magnitude with a brand like Anthony Joshua. It's not like, he's not Deontay Wilder.
But how come it feels like Anthony Joshua and you are not on the same page? Because it seemed like...
We're on completely the same page. We've spoken 20 times in the last 48 or 72 hours about absolutely every email. We are very, very close. We talk about all the time. And he, like me, is interested in the offer if it carries the right terms.
But it just seemed like he was ready because he put it out there. He said, listen, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah,
But it seems like...
If this deal is right for us and the terms of this offer is right, there is every chance we will accept it. Until we know what those terms are, until we know the details of the deal, we cannot accept it. I can't make it any clearer.
You talked about how easily a unification fight can fall apart. Do you think they feel that urgency the same way you do?
I believe Deontay Wilder wants to fight. I believe Anthony Joshua wants to fight. I just requested a meeting to try and help to make the fight. It's not a case of Deontay Wilder says, "Oh, Anthony, these guys, they're just robbing you." The guy's making 10 times more than Deontay Wilder is per fight. Deontay Wilder is being robbed blind because people are giving him a disservice. He's an excellent fighter. He's an excellent talker. He looks the part. He's an American. He's a WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And he's making less money than, not irrelevant guys, but guys who aren't even world champions at much smaller weights. That guy should be making double-digit millions every time he steps through the ropes. And he's not. And I don't know whether that's got his back up or that's got a chip on his shoulder or what about that, but he seems to be like, I saw the message that he sent out Anthony on Instagram, sent it to me straight away. Accusing us really that we're effectively doing a disservice to Anthony Joshua when Anthony Joshua owns the entire pot of money involved in every fight.
But
Eddie Hearn, as a promoter,
they can find a better source of money in America where he's never fought before, then would you do that?
Yeah, but we can make that money as well in America, but we'd like to be involved because Anthony would like to be involved and have some kind of control in the show. There is probably more money in this fight in America than there is in England, but our offer was based on a fight in England where we have built Anthony Joshua. He feels like he would have an advantage in this fight, and with what he has built and the fact that he's the A side, if he had a choice, it would probably be in America. This offer is almost certainly not for UK. That's not a problem. We can talk about fighting in America. We have no problems fighting in America. But again, we haven't been told where it is. I'm not sure they know where it is at the moment. The answer is who wants to pay the most money?
But Eddie, as the promoter, is that a fight that you personally want next?
100%. Anybody that knows me knows a couple of things. One, I love to be involved in the big fights, right? Two, I like to make money. That fight, obviously, if he's getting $50 million, I'm going to do all right out of it, okay? But more importantly, I've guided Anthony Joshua from his professional debut to the Unified Heavyweight Championship of the world. I'm very close to him and he's a very special person to me. So I'm very protective of him. I don't just roll over and say, yeah, that's fine, yeah, come on, quick, give me 50 million and let's just sign it, let's just give me the money. We've built a brand, we've built a reputation. We have international rights deals, international sponsorship deals that cannot be cut across. Again, this isn't Deontay Wilder. You could pay Wilder the money, he could pitch up without any considerations at all to the deal. All he has to do is take the money and be there.
But
he doesn't have sponsorship deals. He doesn't have international TV rights deals. He doesn't have any of those.
But you see where the issue comes in because everybody feels like, in the sport of boxing, Al Haymon is very successful. So for you to say, where's the money coming from, it's almost like a slap in the face to Al Haymon because...
How successful do you think the PBC's been and the money that was invested in the PBC?
I think it's pretty
I think you need to do your research.
What's Joshua's mood like? Because he's, this carry-on seems the sort of thing that might sort of piss him off a bit.
He's on holiday at the moment, having a great time.
But I mean, with the whole Wilder thing.
He wants to fight. He wants to knock Wilder's spark out. And we talked about it an hour before the show tonight. And we both said to each other, this is going to be so sweet when you knock him out. But that's great. It's great for the fight. It's great for the build-up. Because when this fight gets made, it'll be the biggest fight in world boxing. Those two will go at each other. Wilder will probably go at me. I'll go at Shirley Winkle, Lou DiBella. And it's all going to culminate into a major, major event. You can't compare Golovkin against Canelo with Joshua Wilder in terms of by the end product, by the first bell. The whole attention of the world will be on that fight because it's two very good, undefeated heavyweight world champions in the first ever 4-belt undisputed heavyweight championship fight.
Hey Eddie, where does the disdain feel like you have a disdain, you know, with the name calling of Shelley Finkel and Deontay Wilder, because you refer to Deontay Wilder as the guy from Alabama, and you refer to Shelley Finkel as, you know, like a woman's name. Is there like some sort of disdain between you guys? You know, you guys worked together before, right?
Not really. No, we haven't really worked together before.
But where does the disdain come from? If, you know, with the name calling and things like that.
And Deontay Wilder is from Alabama.
No, he is, but it just seemed like, you know, you were like, oh, the guy.
I got an email
from a guy in Alabama.
From Alabama. That's what I did. Now, with regards to Shirley Winkle, you have to understand, this guy came up at a press, I think he's probably here actually, and he pulled out an email from me, and he read it to the public. So I just said in one interview, Shirley Winkle. It just came out of my mouth, right? And since then, everybody in boxing is not very, I mean, I'm not very popular, right? This guy is massively unpopular, right? Even members of Deontay Wilder's team can't stand this guy. And they phoned me to tell me this. So I just said Shirley Winkle once. But I got so many phone calls from people laughing about it, it's stuck in my head. So a lot of the time I'm trying to drop it in, but a lot of the other times I'm saying it subconsciously. In fact, if I spoke to him on the phone, I would probably call him Shirley. In fact, I've now convinced myself that his name is no longer Shelley Finkel. It is Shirley Winkle. And that's genuine. That's not trying to be like clever or name calling. It's stuck so far in my head that I actually went to respond to an email today and I put, "Dear Shirley." And, you know, I'm not, I sent my dad to see him once because you have to understand, we're very different, we're from very different schools, okay? You can't not have respect for an older person like that who's been in boxing for such a long time. He was involved in what? Tyson, Lewis. So, but there comes a time where they just don't have it anymore, you know? And it's time for the younger generation. So he can't, these people get really infuriated with me. A bit like Lou DiBella. I've known Lou DiBella since I was probably 10 years old. But every now and again he'll do an interview and he'll lose his shit, right? And he just has to be put back in his box by me. But I would only do that if he piped up. But I didn't start the Shirley Winkle thing because it's just when he did that email thing, I thought it was a bit of a bitch move. So I thought, Shirley, get back in your box. And I did the same to Lou. But it's not, you have to understand as well, Shakespeare said all the world's a stage. So what that means is we're all characters. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I'm irrelevant. But in this particular play, and it's only a play, it's only a game, I am this character. So for you guys, I am the slightly younger, brash Brit who talks a lot, who winds people up, who might be a little bit disrespectful to people if that's your opinion every now and again. But that's okay. Whether that's me or not, you'll never know. But I think I'm just being myself, but I'm also enjoying playing that game and that role and winding people up. Like, I love that Shirley and like Lou will, if they see me on TV, they just come out in this bit of rage, like, I hate you. And I don't think Heyman probably don't like me either, but he probably has a bit more understanding that I'm important. And when we come back in the second week of May to announce a massive deal in America, these guys, someone needs to be there for them because they're not going to feel very well when they hear what's about to happen.
So why do you feel like the PBC is not successful?
Again, I have a lot of respect for Al Heyman, and I don't want to comment too much on it because I do a lot of work with him and I like the people. There's a lot of money invested in the PBC. Okay?
So
I'm not sure how much is left.
Can you promise the fans and the media that you're going to do your absolute best to make the fight between Wilder and Joshua next?
Yeah, I'll be more honest than that. I will do my absolute best to work in the best interests of my client. Ultimately, my client, Anthony Joshua, is the complete boss of this operation. Okay? He doesn't work for me. I work for Anthony Joshua, and it's always been that way. He has had every single penny of every single show. Yeah? And we'll take our money from Anthony for doing our services. It's never a purse. Every penny that comes in on the pay-per-view, every penny that comes in on the gate, every penny that comes in sponsorship, international TV, sees it all with his team. Has it all. That's why he's making 10 times what Deontay Wilder's making per fight. We've built a very successful brand. So I will do my utmost to deliver what Anthony Joshua wants me to deliver, which is the best deal for him, the right deal for his career, and the Deontay Wilder fight, which is what he wants.
What did Anthony Joshua say about the $50 million offer?
He said, is it real? I said, possibly. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I think we should get a contract. He said, okay. I said, I'm going to try and meet him tomorrow to discuss it more. He said, okay. Then he read the stuff and he said, I said, they won't meet me. He said, why not? I said, because they want you to accept the deal first. He said, well, you've got to talk about the deal. I don't, you know, I've already said before, I don't know what more I have to say then. We are interested. If you want the fight, that should make you jump. Like, if I wanted this fight, like I said, after them offered them 12.5 million, if they said to me, we're interested, mate, I would have been able to lift tables up sitting down. I would have been that fucking hard, right? So I would have been like, sorry, I would have been like, seriously, I would have been on a plane. I would have been there. They would have had a contract that night. If they wanted the money, it would have been sent that day into escrow. That's what I don't understand. And it's really bemusing when people go, well, why don't you just say yeah? Because it don't work like that. We don't want to say yeah. Then they send for a contract and it's bullshit and we can't sign it. And say, oh, they've gone back on their word. They accepted the fight and now they won't take it.
Well, I think people were just saying that, why don't you verbally agree and then have the meeting.
A verbal declaration can be binding in New York. You've got to be very careful. We can't agree a fight until we know the terms. What is so difficult about that?
Sorry, we're going to have to wrap this up very quickly.
I was enjoying this.
So that's all I got. Blue Blood Sports TV with Eddie Hearn.
Just on the